Welcome to our nightly, daily, and weekly chart, bullish and bear breaks. We'll take a look at the markets and then see what we had show up on the charts today. Crazy markets. We opened a big gap down. As everyone knows, pre-market the Dow was down, I don't know, 500-600 points. And we opened, sold off for just a moment, and then the market just headed up all day long. The SPY was, of course, down pre-market, and from the time it opened, this was regular hours here, it just immediately started up. I mean, it was like open at 56.76. It only went out 16 cents from the open regular hours. Immediately turned up, and the market ran all day. I got to say I didn't trust it for a long time, and when it finally got up over on the SP 500, finally got above the 200 day, I started getting convinced. I just was expecting it to roll over, and here's your 200 day. You can see that it came up, rejected it the first time, pulled way back on the trend line. This is that weekly trend line. Ran back up again, checked it again, came all the way back to the open price, and when it held the open price, and this is over here at 1040, and then broke back through the 200, things started looking a lot different, and that from that point on I was long biased. This is our indicator on the SPY on the STS pivot system. Right before 940, the SPY turned green, and it never breached our system all the way all day. Even the little pullbacks held where it should have and continued on up. And that represents probably about a dollar pullback right there. It's the biggest pullback all day. Advanced decline lines, of course, just gapped down and started up and ran all day. One little period here where loss of momentum, and that's the same place we had this pullback, and then just re-enter and off you go again. This was, we'll go back to the advanced decline line. That was a bigger advanced decline line on a bigger time frame on our chart, and then when it this pullback that you see to the right that we were already looking at was actually this pullback here. Held right where it's supposed to. Gave one little indication after it bounced, not at the time, of our possible green to red. If we don't have a little arrow here, we didn't have a box calling for a green to red. And then, so actually we didn't have that box at the time of the bounce, so it just continued right on up. It's not unusual to get that occasionally, but it wasn't even threatening the line at that time. What that implied was if it turned back over, and immediately it would go red at that time. And then the shorter time frame that we are usually watching, it gave a big pullback when this pullback here, and then broke back out about 2 o'clock, and it was just a horse race after that. Our short-term E-mini went along at 25.80 pre-market right before 9 o'clock, and it gave that one little pullback about the same time SPY did. Did not ever go green to red, got close, and just kept going, held itself all day. This is a lot bigger time frame. It's picking up all that chop from the last several days. It came in at 25.97 at about 11 o'clock, and it just continued up all day as well. So we obviously had a lot of big opportunities today. Got advantage of a few of them, not near as many as should have. You can't watch everything. I just try to find a few to trade along the way. You could just about pick any chart you wanted, and made money on it. This was a very bullish day. Yesterday it looked like we would probably go up today after closing above the 200 and testing everything. We got our tariff chatter pre-market and got the big gap down, and the market was just resilient. Came right up. This is a monster bullish engulfing day today. That don't mean we don't go back down again. It's a very strong day. Where did I tell you we were going to test next? This overhead trend line. That's where we're at. We may gap above it, come back and test it, hold above it. That would be awesome. This will be our next issue. We may actually open down here and spend 3 days in this little bitty spot. I imagine with the momentum, we're going to get a gap up. I was prepared for a gap up this morning, or at least a good open, and I had some nice longs picked out. And then after the sell-off, everything kind of reset, and you just had to relook at everything at that point in time. I'll do the same thing again. I'll prepare for the market not to gap down, and if it doesn't gap down, I'll have a better day tomorrow than I had today. That's all you can do, is prepare for what you see, and then I'll react accordingly. And tomorrow we'll see what this trend line brings us, and any new chatter, I guess. Still not a swing trade environment. Be taking a look at those watch lists in just a moment. It's our new shorter format video. You don't even need to watch the last 15 minutes. Those are tutorials on the recap sheets and the charts. If you need the tutorial on the charts or about what the graphs mean in the recap with the yellow and red and green lines on the watch list, go over to 9 minutes before the end of this video, and there's a complete tutorial about the recap grids and about the charts. That's the last part of the video. That's where you'll find the subscribe window, and right after that is where the tutorials are. It's the last 9 minutes of the video. If you're already familiar with that, you don't need to watch when you get to that point. And that's where this subscribe screen will appear right before the tutorial. Be sure to watch our new video series, Swing Trading Watch List, Calls in Action, with charts right off our STS Pivot System charting package. Many charts as they progress through the factors, and you'll be able to pick up on some trades many days ahead of what the bull and bear zone breaks show on the swing trade list. You'll see charts like this that triggered a short back on the 19th and gave this retracement alert that we traded today on the 21st, with the price to re-enter the trade right on the chart, red zone retracement. You'll find out more about that right after the recap grids. We got a section there we're going to tell you about that. It's a recap of our bear list. Of course, as expected, most of these stocks had green days, many stocks coming back out of that bear territory they were going in, just like the market. So these actually make some pretty good bounce watch list. UNH was a monster today. A really nice chart. When it got going, it ran pretty much all day, intraday. I'm going to save this list for last because there's so many on there. This is 5 days ago. There's only a couple still in the bear zone, and just a couple had a red day. Apple had a big up day. It got started yesterday on that little news story they had. Celgene had a big day today off that CEO replacement, I guess. They must have liked that because they bought it. There's really not much bear to see here. Most of it's stocks that are recovering. Netflix, very nice day today. Big day yesterday too, if I remember correctly. So these are just old news. We'll get back to this list here. Your big movers. I know Amgen was on here. Huge move today. Very nice. Strong bullish candle on the daily over here, up through some support resistance lines too. A lot of these didn't go that far, so take the ones that didn't go that far and take yourself a closer look. And to our pivot system charting guys, you know what to be looking at on those charts. Most of them, a lot of them should be either just breaking the 50 factor or already. And we'll be going through our list tonight and picking out stocks we might be interested in tomorrow. I try to look at the ones that look the best set up for me, and I put them on our private Twitter feed. Just trying to see if I see anything else down here that jumps out to me. I was looking at today, Home Depot was a pretty strong day, and it's always a stock you expect to bounce real rapidly, because it is probably way oversold considering what's going on in the markets. Such a strong story there in its own. Marriott will stand out there. Good strong day. OLED, I had on my long list for today, and backed off of it. I backed off of everything, actually. I didn't want to get biased to what I was watching for longs with the market down so bad, so I just destroyed my list at the open. So I'd have to pick and choose my way as the market progressed. Nice red hat day today. Very, very bullish candle on the daily over here. Trying to see if anything else that I remember personally looking at. It might be on this list. Home builders were strong today off that Lennar move. BRTX had a good day as well. Nice strong day, and it sold off a little bit. Took it a while to come back. Most of that sector did. We'll get over and look at that bull list and get this wrapped up. This video is being brought to you by STS Pivot System Charting Package for day traders, swing traders, and option traders. Easy to follow charts and scanners, trigger prices right on the charts, on the setups. We teach 2 trades long and 2 trades short. That's all. It's that simple. Just like you see on this chart, the trigger price for this trade was in the corner over here from this point on, with this price posted, not to take it up here, and it did not trigger, but it wasn't posted as a trigger anyway. Came back. This is a classic, beautiful setup. Breaks right here. 167.26 was our trigger price. And we develop these same lines where you can overlay them on your shorter term charts. This is a 2-minute. By not taking that trade early when it went up here to 167.11, you avoided this 30-something minute pause here. It's not quite 30, about 15 minutes. This was a 60-something cent pullback by waiting on our trigger price to get in the trade here. And we were predicting that trigger price. This didn't go green until this happened. You have that up arrow where we're showing the price to go long at, and as soon as it triggers, it immediately gives a go short because it's so close to flipping back over. So that's exactly where it occurred, was right here. And that is how simple that package is to use. Trigger prices right on your charts. Got a 7-day free trial offer, 10-day money back guarantee. Once you get this set up, it's $69 a month. And we're extending as a courtesy, if you take this package, full access to the website, including the trade room if you want to come in and out of there as well. It's not part of the charting package, but it's an offer we're letting you come in if you want to. And I mentioned this in a video about a week ago that we were going to do this. Any previous member to Day Trader Setups from day one ever paid $1 to us, this $69 fee is waived. You can come in and try the 7-day trial, no outlay of cash whatsoever. If you decide you want to go with this package, then you can sign up. Remember, these are stocks that are gaining momentum, and what we like to look for is stocks that are coming out of a consolidation period. You're not going to find consolidation with this oversold market. So most of these are just momentum stocks. This stock showed up yesterday. Really just had a little inside day today. It's right over the 50-day. Humana, you remember 2 days ago, gapped up really big. I had an inside day yesterday. Had a really nice strong day today, intraday. Came out and going up right off the open. Within about 10 minutes it broke out. Never did really gap down that far. PVH still continues to be in the strong bull zone. It didn't go much today. It gapped down and ended up closing about 25 cents up. So it's probably still a pretty strong suspect tomorrow. A lot of that sector was strong today as well. Lulu, not a green day, but it's still in the bull zone, just hanging up there from its gap up from several days ago. HA, I think every day this week is, other than one, strong day, very strong. And RH has continued, had pulled back and got back above the 50 today, so it could be worth watching too. It had that gap up, I guess, on earnings. Big sell-off, holding in right here on the 50 days, what that blue line is. And that wraps everything up. Thanks for watching the video. See you tomorrow. Be sure to watch our new video series, Swing Trading Watch List, Calls in Action, with charts right off the STS Pivot System charting package, where we'll be viewing some trades as they progress and reviewing the status of them, and you may can pick up some trades many days ahead of these bull and bear break, as you heard us speak about in previous videos. Be looking at STS Pivot System charts that'll show you this break right here on Facebook that occurred. Ended up being a $9 run, and then again as it got here it gave another alert to break down here, and then it triggered here for this short for another $2 run. This is how our pivot system charting package looked early in the morning before 10 o'clock, between 9:45 and 10. This triggered at this price, and before it triggered, when you see this little box right here, it indicates that this box was present, giving you the exact trigger price of that long watch alert. This stock proceeded to go from below 165 all the way up to $173, and all along the way our pivot system charting package kept you in the trade. It never said get out. It never crossed below the line enough to turn it back red, and when it does approach these lines, we use this as well. You do not see any predictions of a reversal yet, and if you don't see the predictions as it pulls back, the trend is really still strong enough that we're going to give a retracement off of this level, and that's where this little box comes in, the trend retracement level. The entry price is right here. This stands for green zone retracement. We're in our green zone. We retrace, and when this occurs, it's when you look here for your entry price, which would give you the price here and here for these next moves up if you wanted to take intraday trades. Also notice right here at this point in time, about 1:30, as it broke down through the line, it's still saying don't go short. It's predicting the short trigger at 170.95. That's what this little box goes down. This box appears and you have a price. As that price progressed back up, it actually triggered at 121.20 to turn it into red zone. It chopped around here for a bit and then sold off, ended up being over a $2 move. As soon as this box disappears, for either it's no longer a prediction or it is triggered and turns it green to red, this line appears on the chart with the exact price that triggered this and a little trend line. You can even show this big box at the same time if you want to. You got the option to turn that on or off. So it was predicting here, it triggered way over here, and then there's your trade. By waiting on the trigger, you didn't get in early over here. These videos are also going to show you what's set up similar to this. This was breaking down at the time it gave the price in the box, as indicated by this little indicator. There was a box here. Gave you the price ahead of time. This is our favorite trade setup. We fade the green, we go back near the visit, and then we come back and trigger. We lock the retracement first. We triggered it 122.53. This ended up being about $1.50 move down. It actually went lower than this, on down below 121 before it started back up. Well, this was intraday on the 21st at 12:10 p.m. when this triggered. All this was a retracement off of this chart on the bigger factor that was setting up the swing trade setup on a 50 factor chart. This had triggered here on the 19th at 12:44, and it's still right on the chart now live because it's never switched back off from red to green. So this stays on that chart until that happens. So 121.85 was the trigger, the retracement. This was 2 days ago, retraced the next day, and this was where it was at. On the 20th, I actually put this on watch because I'm looking for it to come back down. I had myself an alert that what was going to trigger using this price, red zone retracement, as it was sitting up here. I noted this price off the chart at that time and did myself an alert. So when my alert went off today, I go straight to the chart that we looked at on the shorter time frame. I was in a downtrend, so I was trend trading. I was trading this retracement alert, and I was aware of it. I kind of picked up on this, so you can pick up these type setups the day before that they happen. The charts interact, so the run up, the retracement on the 50 was green on the 25. You interact the two charts together, you already know you're in a downtrend on the bigger factor, and you've got to set up for continuation trade on that bigger factor, which makes this that much more stronger. You can go over to stspivotsystems.com and find out how you can subscribe to this charting system. Be sure to subscribe to our channel while you're here, and follow us on Twitter, and follow us on StockTwitch, and go over to daytradersetups.com, click on Ninja 8 charting, and you can learn more about our STS pivot system charting package. Thanks for watching. This is a tutorial on our recap sheet. What you will see here is this column here is the weekly list. It's at the beginning on the weekly bear and bull breaks, the daily bull breaks and bears, depending on which one we're looking at, and then you will have 5 days following. First day, second, third, fourth, fifth. So what's here today will be here tomorrow. We'll shift over to here, then to here, then to here. So you got 5 days you can go back and look. The price here, you got the bull zone trigger price, 36.80. This is the price of the profit since this alert. This is the net change on the stock for today. So tomorrow when this shifts over here, this number will be the same. Where we triggered it at, that number will stay in here for 4 days. The profit will be shown based on the current price of the stock in the day compared to this price on the alert. Like for instance on this stock, $3.48 profit from this break based on this close price, up 92 cents today. This number is the profit at the high since we alerted it. It's the most profitable it's been. It got up to $4.27 profit, pulled back, closed at $3.48. As you go on over, like this stock here, SMTC, this was the break. This is the profit so far since the first day, $5.61 4 days later, and at the peak it was $6.31 profit. That's what these columns mean. The next part you'll find is this yellow line. It represents what I'm going to show you over here in just a moment, momentum. It can be on a bull or a bear chart. And then trend stability, if it's green, it represents on the bulls, and the bears will show a red line for trend stability. The last part you'll want to know about, there's these check marks. They represent the bull zone as it progresses higher. Could be the same as yesterday. Down here, this could be the bull zone that's gotten higher and higher and higher as this stock went along, and it means it's still maintaining the bull zone levels, even the new ones that staying above them. This is what the bear grid looks like. Looks the very same. Got the weekly, 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5 day. So you got a chance to see the stability of the trade. You know if it was up or down today after winning a bear zone the day before. The stability, the momentum, and the bear zone level with the check mark. In the video, we will take this page and we will slide these up and down so you have a chance to pause the video and see every single stock that's in the list. Then we'll move it up where you can see these items, and you can pause the video and then you can see every single symbol in the list. You can go to your charts and look up what's going on. So that's what's in each one of these grids. The current day, day before, day before, day before, day before. So going back 4 days, you got your weekly there. And all this is right here is something I prepare for myself. I take this day, and this day, combine them into this watch list every day, and that's what I carry forward over to my scanners. And just a quick part about what we mean by these levels changing. This is the bull zone level that the check mark represents, the stock staying above. But the bull zone level when this stock broke out was way down here. This was the first breakout, and then as it recalculated our bull zone, that's what the green check mark means, is it's maintaining momentum. The yellow line represents this line that is our minimum momentum indicator used on down or up trades, and then our bull zone levels where it first broke out. And that's all these mean. Trend stability, this is the line we use here, and we come in and we call it trend stability, and that's what this represents here. This line is solid green rather than dotted. It's something we look at on the lows of the day, not being low enough for us not to qualify it for trend stability. So that's all these columns mean. So you'll be able to refer to the strength of the stock that is maintaining high enough lows to stay trend stable, what the profit is if you're staying above the bull zone. That's how you'll use this, and that's your tutorial on the grids. This is a mini tutorial on what the lines mean on my charts if you're a first-time viewer or been a while since you viewed. We're scanning on weekly and daily charts for my condition. When this green line is up, it's my bull zone, and when the red line is up, it's my bear zone. You need to be aware of support and resistance lines and what charts do at levels, and that's what these levels are for. Just quickly as I can do this, and we're going to put a video on YouTube getting more from your swing trading charts that'll be more detailed and look at more stocks, how they react to these lines. But the gist of what you see here is this is what I'm scanning for, and as you can see here, this showed up in the bear zone. It did go down for a few days, but these green lines are support, and that's why it fought for a few days, tried to bounce back up, headed back down again, came right back into the bull zone, bear zone, and continued on down. Now the lines, here's what they represent. A green line is a place that a stock went up to and rejected. So as this green line redrew itself every time we made highs right here, and then it stayed across here for reference points, continues the same line here for reference points. Resistance, when you get above it, becomes support. This green line was drawn way back in the history, and when this stock broke above this resistance level, when it came back down, it held it, it held it, it held it, it tested it and held it again and again. That was support. That's why I want you to be aware of what these lines mean, and you'll see them on my charts. And then the activity that stocks do, sometimes they go, that's my first target, that's my second target. Many times stocks go target 1, pull back a little, target 2, then they may pull all the way back to 1 and go again if they're continuing an uptrend. In this case, it did the pull back. This blue line is a 50-period moving average. This orange line is a 200. So that's what I want you to be aware of as well. And then I have a pivot system that consists of this blue line at the top, yellow line at the bottom, and my target 1 and target 2. You'll see this particular day this stock gapped down, huge gap down, open way down here. The low on this stock was 169.68. I'm getting that right out of this box over here. And the value of that yellow line was 169.67. Within 1 cent, it held that line and bounced that day for a huge bounce. It's not a support level, but it's where I look for stocks to try to hold. It's where I look if I'm short, say from here, this is where I'm looking to get out. I'm looking to move 2 levels, target 1, target 2, going up, target 1, target 2. The pink lines all represent places the stock has gone down to and bounced. This pink line is referencing this last pivot low. So as you're selling down into it, it may bounce again. If you get below it, then it becomes resistance. And that's all these lines mean. I just want you to know what they mean going forward. Thanks for watching the video. Let's get started.